trying to decide which question to ask you, actually. One thing I find interesting about this kind of a thing too, when you put songwriters in the same space to do this kind of thing, this is not a, I don't know. I try to be around these kinds of shows as much as possible because I enjoy them so much. I think at festivals, at music festivals, a lot of time they'll call them like workshop stages or stuff that you go and you'll see. They'll just throw people together that maybe have a common thread, and you'll see the most unusual things that you would never see again, or it would never happen again. Like once at the folk festival here, I saw this Maori Celtic Australian fusion band that was like a three-piece women's group jam with like a throat singing man from Greenland, and it was just such a bizarre thing to see, but just amazing too to see where the common threads are found and how people can find a way to engage in music, such a universal language that way. But even just that's one aspect of performing, but there's another neat thing that just was even just in that last song is just watching how other songwriters listen. And it's always, I actually, it's neat, like, watching, I think particularly Holly, the way, like, you seem to, like, really be impacted by the music, it makes me listen more in a different way that I wouldn't normally do. Or at least I noticed that. I was like, whoa, I've never, like, heard this part of, like, how they sing these songs because of, like, seeing you that way. So I was just kind of curious to just, like, how, like, what do you feel when you're listening to other music?
I process a lot through my body. I'm a very kinetic person. So sometimes even it can be hard to find the right words. And so I do a lot of expression through movement. So I think I kind of noticed that a little bit tonight too, that I'm kind of swaying and wiggling and yeah, so I'm kind of processing the music through my body and through movement first. And then, yeah, I don't know, it just, whichever mood hits me, you know, some of the music I'm really moving slowly, I'm melting into it. And other music I'm bouncing a lot more. And yeah, I guess I'm just moving.
You put that in your bio.
I'm just. Yeah. Yeah. So this song is called "Growing Pains," and it's a song that I wrote. So my husband and I, it's been just over a year that we kind of moved out of our communal Spark house. We weren't in the Spark house, but we moved out of a communal space. And it kind of just hit me this week, or maybe last week, that my relationship with that group of friends and with some of my friends is kind of shifting and changing. And in some cases, we're kind of growing apart and you know, but there's so much love there. And yet the shift and change kind of leaves me a little uneasy, I guess. And at the same time, it's a little bit painful and joyous. It's very confusing. And so, yeah, that's what this song is about. It's called Growing Pains. Let's see if I can pull this off. Just as sure as the seasons change, just as sure as the river runs down, change is something you can't avoid. Setting sun in the rising new day. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. When I think of our old home, I see an orange sun, friends together making noise, having fun. I hear laughter, pots and pans, fanfare, we thought it would last forever. we didn't care. And just sing along if you want. It goes like this. Or if you sing low, it goes, sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. And if you sing high, then it's like, it's higher. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. Let's see here. Remember that time you found me laying on the ground? I was looking at you, you looked upside down. You let me lay, asked if I was okay. You let me lay, asked if I was okay. It's okay not to be 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 okay. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. Sometimes letting go is the only way to grow. Sometimes letting go. If you're in a cocoon, you'll never fly. Change is natural as the ebb and the flow. The sea's waves, they will come and they will go. Little butterfly flying high in the sky. Little butterfly flying high in the sky. You are free to fly. You are free to fly. You are free to fly. Free to fly. Free to fly. Free to fly. Free to fly.
Yeah.